Shabbat Shalom. This is the first week, it's actually the first day, Kislev 1, in the Hebrew month of Kislev. And why that is significant is because the 25th of Kislev is a very special day. It is the beginning of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. And my kids have been collecting their catalogs, and they like to count down and circle all the different toys that they want for Hanukkah. And I don't want to disappoint them because there's a new Pokemon game that came out, and that's what they want. So you can't get that from a catalog, so that's good. If you like Pokemon, just saying. So yes, Pokemon is big in our house. And if you want, we can discuss the general nature of Pikachu over the Oneg cookies later tonight. Each of us comes into the sanctuary with a different need. Some of us are here because tonight a young baby is going to receive a Hebrew name. Others are here because it is Thanksgiving weekend and we are home seeing friends. Maybe we've come to the synagogue to check out the congregation. Others are here to commemorate a yortzeit and to derive support from the community. Whatever our reason for being here, let's take a moment to clear our minds, to take a deep breath in, to be fully present in this holy and spiritual time, to celebrate Shabbat. We begin our service with the singing of Lechu Niranana, which can be found in our Sidurim, in our prayer books, starting on page 10. Or page 12. Or a new song? That's even better. We are trying something new tonight. When you came into the sanctuary, you were given a song sheet. So if you want to follow along with the singing of the choir music, you may do so on the new song sheets, starting with Lechu Niranana. It is my pleasure to invite to the Viva at this time to sanctify our Shabbat candles, Elise Sirabasi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu v'lahadlik ne'er shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. We continue in our Sidurim, in our prayer book, with the singing of Lecha Dodi. And when we get to the final stanza of Lecha Dodi, we will, as a community, turn and face the rear of the sanctuary as if we are ceremonially welcoming the Sabbath bride into our midst. Page 20, Lecha Dodi. we stay standing for Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. We read together on page 30, Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem birakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue on the top of page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue on pages 34 and 35 with Shema. If you are able to do so at this time in either body or spirit, please rise for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Vishinantam livanecha vidibarta baham bishivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vihayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha liman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Lehiot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Let's go ahead and read responsively on the bottom of page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets, time and again. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, It has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue. Then shall we rejoice. We continue on page 40 with the singing of Mi Chamocha. We continue on the top of page 43. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapurei Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 44 with the singing of Vishamru. We continue with our congregational tefillah, which can be found on page 46. Will the congregation please rise in either body or spirit at this time, if you are able to do so? Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Lima'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach Umorid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah Lahachayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue on the top of page 55. Let's read responsively. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle, may all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt, may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. We continue on the top of page 58 with the singing of Modim Anachnu Lach, followed by silent meditation and Oseh Shalom. We come now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which can be found in our prayer book on page 244. Page 247. In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Together, its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. Gadlu Adonai iti unromama shemo yachdav. Exalt Adonai with me. Let us extol God's name together. Please be seated. Our Torah portion for this Shabbat, Toldot, begins with Isaac and Rebekah praying for God to give them a child. And finally, Rebekah conceives, and after a very difficult pregnancy, she gives birth to twins, Esau and Jacob. And their personalities soon grow very different and apparent as Esau turns to hunting, while Jacob spends more of his time studying Torah and being more of a homebody. Returning from a hunting expedition, exhausted and starving, Esau finds Jacob cooking a pot of lentil stew, and Jacob agrees to give his older brother a part of the soup in exchange for his birthright. And after the deal is completed, Esau eats his soup, and everything seems to go to normal. But then many years later, Isaac calls for Esau to come and receive his blessing for the birthright as the firstborn. And Rebekah puts Jacob up to tricking Isaac into giving the blessing to him, the younger brother. And so we are going to be reading that section of the Torah this evening where we have a little bit of deceit happening between Rebekah, Jacob, and Isaac. Ta'amod Chana bat Shlomo la'aliyah haTorah. You can follow along in the large maroon books, those Etz Chaim commentaries on page 155. They are found under the seat in front of you, or maybe under your seat, depending on where you're sitting. And it is my pleasure to invite Janice Beldner to the Bima for the Aliyah. Page 155 of the large maroon books. Janice, you're going to come on this side. Here you go. Okay, perfect.
Ready? Baruch hu et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachu banu mikol hamin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Va'ata v'ni shema b'koli la'asher ani mitzaveh itach lecha na el hatzon v'kach li misham shnei gedi izim tovim ve'e'esa otam meta'imim la'avicha ka'asher otam ve'heveta la'avicha ve'e'achal be'akur asher yivarechecha lifnei moto. Vayomer Yaakov el Rivka imo, hen asu achi ish sha'ar ve'anochi ani halak, ulai yimeshni avi v'hayiti be'onaniyav kemit nata v'haveti alai klala v'lo bracha v'tomer lo imo alai kalalatcha b'ni ach shema b'koli v'lech kach li.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'kayei olam nata batukenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you. Sit down. At this time in our worship service, while our Torah is out in our midst, we think of those in our community and families who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Bridget Stern, Lila Rashowski, Alan Wolski, Richard Vane, Sally Vane, Lori Bateman, Joyce Sefman, George Phillips, Ethan Talbot, Frederick Bryan, Lisa Stack, Carol Nymark, Shelley Halper, John Eulenberg, Joy Rosenthal, Martin Kolber, Joyce Fishman, Mary Carol Smith, Carl Bender, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Misha berach avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech v'rapeh et kol cholei Yisrael vayishlach lahem b'mheira refuah shlema refuah tanefesh refuah taguf v'nomar amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say, Amen. This Shabbat, we are assembled here for a joyous and exciting occasion. It is a special time for grandparents, for parents, for family and friends, all of whom are here to share in this special event. And so it is my pleasure to invite forward at this time Rowan Frances Maurer together with her parents for a baby naming. Martin Buber, a Jewish philosopher, once wrote that every person born into this world represents something new, something that never existed before, something original and unique. It is the duty of each person, of this child, of her parents, to know and to consider that she is unique in our world and that there has never been anyone like her before, because if there had been, then there would be no need for her to be here now. Every single person is a new thing and is called upon to fulfill something special in the world. And so, Rowan, may you live to see a world that you create. May your future shine in ways that we can scarcely imagine. May your hope span the generations, and may your heart learn understanding. May you speak wisdom and the song of joy, and may your vision be clear before you. And I think she's answering me. I like that. So Jess is now going to do her best to talk a little bit about her name.
Oh, okay.
And it's okay if she cries. I always say crying is the music of the future, so crying is okay.
This is Rowan Frances. Her English name, Rowan, is after Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Frances is after my mother, Janice Feldner, who's just up here for an Aliyah, her mother, Frances. And her Hebrew name is very special as well, Maya Tova. Maya is after my Uncle Mitchell, who passed away 3 years ago, the beginning of this month. And Tova is for my husband Daniel's uncle, who passed away recently as well, Uncle Tom. So very special names for our little girl.
I agree, and such a wonderful namesake, all the wonderful people that she is named for. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahaknisa bivrit am Yisrael. And I'm going to have you say the English of what I just said.
We praise you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who gives us mitzvot and commands us to bring our daughter into the covenant of our people Israel.
Okay, wonderful job. Now, Jessica and Dan, You are bestowing upon your daughter, Rowan Francis, the Hebrew name Maya Tova Bat Chava. O God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child through her parents' loving care. Let her name be known among our people Israel by the name Maya Tova Bat Chava. May her name be a source of joy to her and inspire her to serve our people and all humankind. May her parents rejoice in her growth of body and soul. And as they have brought her into the covenant, so may they, with wisdom and patience, lead her to the study of Torah, to a life of good deeds, and to a marriage worthy of God's blessing. And let us all say, Amen. Now, we have beautiful godparents up here, and thank God for godparents because they are calming and soothing, and we love anybody who can be a baby whisperer. So, because we have parents, baby, and godparents, I am going to wrap all of you in the tallis, which is like a canopy of peace. Let this represent the warmth of community, the love of family, and the support from all of us. And I ask everyone to please rise as I convey upon the entire family the priestly blessing. Yeverechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God be kind and gracious unto you. May God's countenance be lifted up unto all of you and grant you the most precious gift of peace. And let us say together, Amen, and sing Shehechianu together for this very special occasion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. God willing, we'll see you again in a few years to get your little Torah, when you get your consecration, when you're 5, and then no pressure, but maybe a bat mitzvah. We'll see. You never know. Get a little future shadowing. Gotta love it. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're all still standing because it's time for us to lift and dress the Torah. Ya'amod Michael ben Benjamin Hagba, ta'amod Aliza ben Michael Gaulelet. Please be seated. Now, I did not get somebody to read the prayer for the state of Israel and for the prayer for our country. So I'm going to be putting Eric and Ann on the spot. You don't mind, do you? Of course you don't. Come on forward, Eric and Ann, because you guys are good sports. And I'll give you what you're going to read when you get up here. We're going to do rock, paper, scissors. Okay, let me get that one. You are going to read O Heavenly One.
Okay.
We continue on the bottom of page 259.
You.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing with those who are in need. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we serve you. Bless our country that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health, happiness within its homes, strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands. And may the love of your name hallow ever home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Amen.
Amen. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Our service continues on page 256 as we rise to return the Torah to the ark. Please be seated. So I want to draw your attention to the daf, to the handout that was given to you. That's not the song sheet. It has on the top of it Psalm 32, first verse, a psalm of David. Happy is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered over. Well, wouldn't you be happy if you'd sinned and then we never talked about it again? You'd think maybe I got away with it, right? In this week's Torah portion, we have Isaac, who calls for a blessing to be given to his firstborn son, and Rebekah and Isaac each have a different favorite. Isaac's favorite is none other than his hunting son Esau, whereas Rebekah understands spiritually that Jacob, her non-hunting son, is the one who is to receive the birthright and is to carry on the generations. But in order for Rebekah to get her way, she has to be deceitful. And so she puts up Jacob to tricking their father, Isaac, into giving him the birthright. We know this because he does give the birthright to Jacob, and when Esau comes home, the only thing he wants to do is kill Jacob. Well, Jacob runs for his life to his uncle Laban's house, who is Rebekah's brother. Well, I think that tricking runs in the family because Laban was none other than the uncle who tricked Jacob by first giving Leah to him as a bride when they had agreed that Rachel would be his bride. And so we know that deceit obviously is in the Jewish DNA. But is it only Jewish people who are deceitful? No, it really is a human thing. In fact, all of Torah teaches us that we are human And because we're human, we're going to be doing a lot of human things and a lot of bad behaviors. And so, even though the Psalms say it's better to sin and then never to hear about it again, the rabbis disagree. In fact, Moses wants to be remembered for having erred and sinned. And in Numbers, we know that Moses raised his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and out came the water for the Israelites to drink. He was told to speak to the rock, but in his anger, he struck the rock. The result was the same. Water was still given to the Israelites, but Moses was remembered for having not been able to control his anger, and that was the reason that he wasn't allowed to enter the promised land. So we have a couple of approaches to sin. We have the kind that gets glossed over, like King David's sin, and we should never talk about it again. And then we have Moses' sin, which is, no, let's be known for the things bad that we do, because we're still considered to be great people, even when we're very human. The question is, should the sins of great leaders be censored? And the rabbis say no. It says, "Who may ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not taken a false oath by my life or sworn deceitfully." The Psalms tell us that we are always to act with good intention. But deceit, mirma, which we read about in this week's Torah portion, is the idea that we are all capable of deceit. The Torah is the only ancient book that presents personality and character development, that it teaches us that we are going to be human and we are going to act deceitfully and we're going to mess up. We have to remember that as human beings, we are created in the image of God. And that means that our human intellect is going to come out of the divine intellect. So we have free will, is what that means. And as we learn from life experience, as we study Torah and other books, we find out that we can move from bad to good, and unfortunately, we can still also move from good to bad. In our modern time, we have an example of mirma, of deceit, and something that has brought shame to the whole house of Israel. It is the modern-day Bernie Madoff, Sam Bankman-Fried of the famous FTX House of Cards, which has, of course, collapsed around him. And he misused customer funds to prop up his other company, Alameda Research, and in this past couple of weeks has collapsed around him. So how do we navigate knowing that we are going to mess up, that people around us are making bad decisions, and some of them seemingly getting away with it? Does that mean that we too are allowed to act deceitfully? Well, the answer is that we know that we have the capacity to be deceitful. And we know that we, as leaders and as followers, have to be true to what we know is right. So the question is for this week, how does deceit play out in your life? In what way are you cheating and thinking that you're getting away with it? It's the question I leave you with. But realize that the Torah presents no perfect characters. The matriarchs and patriarchs, even the great teacher, Moses, make mistakes and sinned. And it is the majesty of the human heart that when all of us sin, that we can, after all, return to God and return to wholeness, because all of us are human. And may we remember that on this holy Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with our anthem, Adonai Li.
Adonai Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for celebrating Shabbat with us tonight. I'm Dubravka Jurega, and I'm honored to share some announcements with you this evening. Thank you to our usher, Patricia Gibbs, and our greeter, Marcy Siegel. Thank you to the security team for providing security this evening. Thank you to Jason Hill and the choir for wonderful music, for the beautiful music tonight. Next week is a Soup Shabbat. Register and join us for soup before services. Services will begin at 6:30 p.m. Join us for our Hanukkah gift sale on Sunday, December the 4th. Visit our Hanukkah gift bazaar featuring a host of different vendors, our Sisterhood gift shop sale, and get gift cards through our Mana sale, all in the same convenient location. Registration for our congregational retreat is open. Space is limited and first come, first serve. Rabbi Kosnowski will begin her 1-month sabbatical starting December the 6th. For more details on these and other upcoming events, check out our weekly happenings email or our online calendar. Please join us after services for a wonderful oneg in the social hall. Shabbat Shalom.
Do I have Evie and Charlie in the room? No, that's okay. They can stay. So we would have had the moment of cuteness right now, but they're playing, so that's good. Is there any young child under the age of 5 who wants to come up with me and open the ark? Would you like that? Yeah? Yeah? And we can have, look who's here. Wow. Yeah, okay. Any young child. We're looking for cuteness. Anybody who's really adorable, come on forward. All right, come on up, honey. You're really adorable. So all adorable people who would like to have an honor of opening the ark, please come forward at this time. And we are going to continue on page 282 with Aleinu. Please rise. Come on up, baby. Come on forward. Yeah, come on. You're adorable. Yes, all cuteness. Hi, Fred. This is so exciting. Go ahead, we're going to pull the ark sideways. Great job. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gora leinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Go ahead and close the ark. Please be seated. Please be seated. I love that moment of cuteness. Thank you. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and whose yortzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We remember with love Irene Cohen, mother of Marcia Gibson, Jean Ehrlich, mother of Denise Niederman, Franny Lux, mother-in-law of Shyla Lux, Paula Marion, wife of Michael Marion, mother of Amanda Rerauer and Ben Marion, Mervyn Posner, father of Nikki Siegel, Marilyn Blonder, sister-in-law of Ellen Simpson, Alvin Burstein, father of Scott Burstein, Jack Edwards, father of Cynthia Sawyer, Miriam Olkin, mother of Scott Stewart, Jerry Reich, sister of Nikki Siegel, Art Simpson, brother of Harvey Simpson, Leon Geller, father of Cecile Wolochuk, grandfather of Cheryl Bogalub, Mary Emma Bryan, mother of Mary Joel Bryan Wolski, Sam Abofsky, grandfather of Jess Beldner. Ivan Stern, father of Elise Sirabasi. Elwood Bryan, father of Mary Jo Bryan Wolski. Roberta Field, mother of Michael Field. Helen Flaxman, aunt of Paulette Weininger. Bror Johnson, grandfather of Sherry Katz. Frances Micknick Bell, mother of Eileen Landau. Irving Greenberg, uncle of Bernice Green. Leo I. Holt, grandfather of Sharon Holt. Martin I. Stoller, husband of Landra Dunn and father of Howie Stoller. Eldon Gossage, father of Howard Gossage. Albert Kaluzna, father of Mo Headington. Alex Lerner, father of Elizabeth Papotsky. Marion Mannheimer, grandmother of Brian Blumenstein. Betty Tresky, aunt of Alan Herback. Ernest Ulrich, brother of Werner Ulrich. Jerome Gilbert, father of Bruce Gilbert. And we mourn the recent passing of Albert Spenadel, brother of Joel Spenadel, uncle of Hannah and Jacob Spenadel. Milton Gorbian, father of Diane Rubicek, grandfather of Adam Rubicek. And Burton Newman, cousin of Ellen Mandel. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we recite Kadisha tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalalu v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of all who mourn send sympathy and peace to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Please be seated. Our closing song, Ein Kelohenu, can be found on page 322. O God, may we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, and worth in our study of Torah. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to you in life, in peace, and in joy. Shabbat shalom. In a moment, we will do kiddush and motzi together. We will break bread, and we will say our blessings over our Sabbath wine, and we will go into the social hall for a lovely cookie. So please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, B'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, Zikaron limase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu vacharta, Vyotanu kidashta, Mikol hamim, Vishabat kodshecha, Biava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon. B'tei avon, everyone. Let's go have a nice cookie.